One. I've got a cold open for you, Tom. How cold do Packers fans feel after losing to the Raiders in primetime football? What are you? What are you, the Broncos now?
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is a G, a P, S. And the S stands for stop. Please stop. No more. That was bad. That was.
You know, it was. I was disappointed in the Packers.
You wanted this. You
But
asked
also,
for this.
I needed the Raiders to win to kind of give us a little distance in the tank for Caleb, clank for Caleb. So thank you for giving us a little separation there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Packers, tough game, a winnable. That's what's frustrating, right? When you see a winnable game, kind of just slip away. Slip away. But what I want to say, my honest take, Tom, is I want Packers fans to pump the brakes. I want you guys to relax. You need to relax. You got to give Jordan Love a little bit of time to marinate. A little time for Jordan Love to marinate. You guys are very used to winning, Packers fans, and it is a tricky adjustment to being like all the other teams. It's a tricky one, I know, but a couple bad throws from Jordan Love. Those things will happen. I think you guys got to give it all season. Let him play all season before you lose your gourds. And then we'll see where we're at come week 15, week 16, 14 starts. Really need 14 starts. There you go, Guillermo. There you go. 17. That's all you need to beat the Broncos and the Packers, Raiders. Oh boy. And I was wrong. Devontae Adams did not change jerseys at halftime and come out and save the Packers like we all thought he might.
I wanted him to.
Not right now, Alex. We're ahead of you guys in draft order. So, and we play the Chiefs tomorrow.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because that was it saved the touchdown. Yeah, the Christian Watson one. They horse collared him. Yeah, he said it was the right move because.
Yeah, that was Marcus Peters. Marcus Peters, former Chief, former Ram, former Raven. Marcus Peters.
They go to the
finals.
Save
the touchdown.
They go to the finals. We'll stream a game.
I tweeted Marcus Peters is still terrible at tackling, and I stand by that. I stand by that.
Yeah, it was rough. And yeah, I'm not particularly concerned because it's like you said. And going into this year, I was like, this is an evaluation season in which you're like, okay, is Jordan Love our guy? And as long as we have the answer by the end of the season, we're rocking. And as I've put out too, I just want to make sure that the team is doing what it's supposed to in terms of everybody on the field, everybody off the field in terms of coaching. They're there. It's the best of the best that we could possibly get. And I don't know if we have that. So I'm not terribly upset at Jordan Love. It is his 6th overall start, right? And like you said, come December, then that's a different conversation. In December, he looks like he did on Monday night, then that's a very, very different conversation. Going into this, you're gonna see growing pains. It was brutal to watch. For some reason, the Packers just do not show up on offense for the first half. They just don't. So there's that. That's been almost a thing in every single game thus far for the Packers. And like you said, the most frustrating thing is this was so winnable. The Packers, like before that last interception, Jordan Love had thrown 2 picks, right? We couldn't cover Jacoby Myers. Devontae Adams was being covered by Preston Smith on a play, right? All of that was happening, and we still could have won that game because Josh McDaniels was like, yeah, you know what? Let's not go for the yard and let's kick a long field goal, which then they miss and they give it back to the Packers, who have a timeout left. They had more than a minute left. Like, they had all the time in the world. So that like last drive is what kills me, because we've seen Jordan Love like be super duper clutch, right, to go down and like win the game for the Packers, but not so much on Monday night. But at the same time, like, I'm sorry, if Aaron Jones is out, like, Matt LaFleur needs to know, like, I don't know, how to call a game without him, because it seems every time he's out, he doesn't. And that's very frustrating.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. When your team is not good, you're doing this. You're trying to find where can we get better? And usually it's everything. One week it might look like the line's the biggest problem. The next week it might look like LaFleur's the biggest problem. The next week, oh, the defense let us down. The following week it's Jordan Love again. It's just tough. And when you have a young quarterback and your line is not healthy, when there are different things that are going wrong, it makes it harder to evaluate that quarterback, because you want a young quarterback to be in an ideal situation. And we're seeing that play out right now with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud's not even in the ideal situation, but you're seeing how good he is. Mm-hmm. So as unfair as it is to possibly, Jordan Love not being in an ideal situation every week as a quarterback, it kind of doesn't matter. Like, they just have to rise above that. They have to elevate the deficiencies. And I think that is one of the hardest things to learn in the NFL from that position. And, you guys will know by the end of the season. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me so much of the 2016 season for the Broncos, where Peyton Manning was gone. They draft Paxton Lynch. We've got Trevor Siemian basically beating him out as the starter. And Siemian was decent. And it was like, let's just roll with Trevor Siemian, see how he develops. And we had a good defense. We had all these things. We had a winning record that season. And then from that year on, what I'm warning you about is the next year and the year after that and the year after that. And you kind of want, you want to know sooner if Jordan Love's not the guy, because you want to be in a position to get your next guy. And that is like throwing freaking darts, man.
Well, that's what Mark Murphy said, right? It was going to take at least half a season to see if Jordan Love was the guy. They gave him that mini extension, so he signed for next year as well. And it's kind of like low risk. It's like, hey, if you do well, great. If not, it is what it is. And for the Packers defense, I mean, that's been one of the issues. Last year, I came into that season going, oh my God, like, they're going to be a top 10 defense, potentially top 5. And that was also the feelings of Brian Gutekunst, and like basically all the Packers were like, yeah, this is what it's going to be. And it wasn't. And so then this year was like, okay, well, this is Joe Barry's like final chance, because if the defense isn't there, and I'll be very clear. Yes. Am I going to rag on Preston Smith being on Devontae Adams? Absolutely. Are there things that the defense could do better? Absolutely. I also will say is that the way that defense played, especially after, Jordan Love threw 2 interceptions before the last one was whatever. Yeah. But throw 2, like, they did enough to win that game. Like, the offense should be able to do that. And Jair Alexander spoke after the game and said, like, well, now it's clear what we need to do. Like, we can't allow any touchdowns because the offense is trying to, like, figure out who they are and find their mojo.
That's a crack. There's your first crack right there. So that is when you start to get oh no, the defense is unhappy because your offense ain't living up to the agreement of helping. I thought the Packers defense played pretty well. Like, overall, right? The stupid Preston Smith thing blew up because it looks ridiculous. And Preston Smith's kind of big for like an edge rusher. So it makes it look
But that's not the
optically.
first time that's happened, Brandon. Like,
No.
that's the problem. We've seen him be like on Justin Jefferson. They've put a linebacker on him. Like, again, it's just, it doesn't make sense. So,
No, it's, you want your edge rushers to be able to drop into coverage. They have to be that well-rounded nowadays, I feel like. Von Miller would do it quite a bit. Made a key play in the AFC Championship game, intercepting, I think it was a throw targeted for Gronk. But usually your edge rusher, they're dropping off onto tight ends or running backs.
yeah.
You're not having them drop off onto the number one receiver on the team, also top 3, top 5 receiver in the league. It's just silly. It's silly.
You ain't wrong. Curtis, pay for the kitty. Well, I got you. I don't want that one. Yeah, we haven't done this one in a while.
Poser.
USA.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
USA. Airplane. Yeah.
There you go. Appreciate
Love
you,
it.
Curtis.
Love it.
Dude, Josh McDaniels. I mean, here's the thing. If you're a Raiders fan, do you have any more confidence still in Josh McDaniels? I feel like nay. Like, it's so funny too, because Raiders fans, like, there was a mix. They were like, yeah, we won. And then there was also some that were like, crap, this hurts our draft pick. And then there's the other ones like, I still don't have confidence in McDaniels at all. And
yeah, I mean, why would you? He's like,
most important.
it's game management things that are coming into question with McDaniels. It's like math. And it's been a couple weeks in a row. One more of those, if the Raiders would have lost, oh boy. McDaniels would have, you would have started to get the Hackett treatment a little bit, you know? You make some play clock fumbles. You do some questionable things. Luckily, they won, so people will forget about it. But yeah, Raiders fans aren't fans of Josh. I don't think there's any fans of Josh McDaniels, except for old Patriots fans. Like, he was good with Brady, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's fair to say yet. I mean, again, I think you need to see what the season is. Like, I'm talking about evaluation year, but it's not just evaluation for Jordan Love. It's evaluation for Matt LaFleur. Because, like I said, before the season started, I was like, hey, let's see how good of a coach Matt LaFleur is. He never got those Coach of the Year nods because of Aaron Rodgers. Okay, let's see what he could do. And that's also the other frustrating thing is, like, the first few weeks, like, Jordan Love looked really, really good. And it looked like the play calling was good. It was there. Now, again, you could look at maybe it was the lack of Aaron Jones, but that shouldn't dictate, like, you're not able to call an offense because Aaron Jones isn't there, who had to take a pay cut to stay on the Packers. Like, if you're telling me that he's that important to the team, well, then the guy shouldn't be taking a pay cut. And 2, like, that I think is bad coaching then. That's like Mike McCarthy, which are Michael Finley back in the day, who didn't know what to do with tight ends and said, all right, well, I'm never going to scheme for tight ends ever again after Jermichael Finley got hurt. So it's, again, these are the growing pains. I'm more upset and disappointed with the coaching than Jordan Love for now.
Yeah, baby.
True.
Suck it, eyebrows. Suck those eyebrows, baby.
No. But that I don't think the Vikings are going to be that bad. The Vikings, I think, are going to win enough games that they're not going to be in contention for him.
I mean,
and then, if the Bears hold the number 1 overall pick, I don't think they're trading that to the Vikings either.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 1-4 teams right now. Broncos, Vikings, Patriots, Cardinals, Giants. Oh, wait, let me refresh this. Hold on.
But that's what I'm saying about, like, the Vikings and stuff.
Here we go.
They're going to be an interesting spot. They'll have opportunities to draft somebody. I just don't think it's going to be Caleb Williams, though. There you go, Yankees. Congrats on passing that first part, baby. Let's go. And yes, Dak could throw another interception.
Nice. CPA exam. Good.
Yeah, we're going to talk about, that's going to be today's episode. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of rookies and, like, who looks the best. And Sam LaPorta is on that list because he's been looking real good.
Yeah.
So I would think Perna would think both of these hurt.
Does it hurt more that the Broncos traded for Russ or the trade for Peyton because both suck? My answer is correct. That's correct.
Yep. He tried. He did try. Josh McDaniels did try. He did.
I've got, and it feels like for the rookies, because we are going to talk about that. There's a lot of rookies I feel like they're just playing out of their minds. But I think that's because we're in a weird situation where a lot of rookies went to good teams. Like high draft pick rookies went to good teams. You don't see that every year. Oh, Aiden Hutchinson got hands like a tight end.
I know he does.
Dude, I
we're going to talk about
something
Jalen
about
Carter.
like when is Dan Campbell going to move Aiden Hutchinson to tight end because of the catch. Like it was a joke, and somebody gave me like a real honest, serious answer as to like why that would not happen on Twitter. Which is like, I love Twitter. It was like sincere, like the guy wasn't mad or being a dick. He's just like, no, Sam LaPorta is playing really well. There's no reason for Dan Campbell to think about. I was just like, whoa, dude. It was a joke. Dan Campbell used to be a tight end. He would be an Iron Man football type of guy. It was a joke.
I have a birthday, by the way, and I love your profile picture. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Carter's good. We'll get into it.
Because Jalen Carter's looking like a monster. It's true. It's accurate.
We got the Broncos and Chiefs playing Thursday Night Football. We got a 15-game losing streak for the Broncos against the Chiefs, so a lot to watch. Tom and I will be co-streaming that game together, FYI. But let me give you a little glimpse of your future, Tom. All right? Unless Jordan Love is the dude. And I think Jordan Love can be like, I think he's got enough to be a good quarterback. It just takes freaking time. You need to play.
I also, real quick, I also think one of the big differences between the first 2 weeks and like what we've seen the last 2 weeks has been the state of our offensive line. Because Max Crosby absolutely demolished us, just like the pass rush of the Lions did.
Yeah.
And because of that, Love didn't have a lot of time. And, again, he did not play well. Like, I'm not making excuses. Jordan Love did not play well on Monday night.
Yeah.
On top of that, the offensive line was not good. Like, the play calling was bad. There had, the run game was a little bit better with A.J. Dillon, but they didn't take advantage of the fact that the Raiders secondary was injured. It was bad, dude. Like, it was just an all-around bad game.
You got young receivers. Max Crosby might have done that against a healthy line. Like, he's just so good. He's a game wrecker, Crosby is. He doesn't get talked about enough with like the elite edge rushers in terms of consistency, and I hate him because he's really good. And I think like it takes time for quarterbacks to learn to play under pressure, right? That's a hard thing to simulate, like really in practice. You just got to learn to play when stuff breaks down. And I think that that last throw, Jordan Love, the interception in the end zone, like I think that's a throw he learns to make. Like there's so many dumb things being criticized about that throw where like I watched your reaction to that play, right? And you're starting it off by like going, Jordan Love, he's under pressure. Yeah. And then he throws it. So yes, he's under pressure. He gets out of the pocket. Because he's under pressure, that's why he sees Christian Watson late. Right? He's he's trying to make a play.
Watson was open. He throws his hand up.
Yeah. And so like people like he was trying to show Jordan Love he was open. Well, Jordan Love was running for his life probably at that moment. And then he does see him and then he gets the ball to him, which is, I think there's another guy open underneath, maybe easier throw. But I think if he just puts that ball in the corner of the end zone, it's a touchdown. Or Christian Watson learns underthrown football. That's an easy penalty. And you got to just sell that the defender is in your way. I don't think it's the wrong throw. I just think it's a throw he's got to learn to make better in that situation. Like Rodgers makes that throw.
Sure.
Mahomes makes that throw. Stafford probably makes that throw. With all of that said, it's still a tough throw to make.
Sure. And again, sixth. But D'Amico Ryans would honestly be talked about for me being coach of the year so far.
D'Amico Ryan should be, Mike McDaniels should be. Kyle Shanahan should be. Hell, Dan Campbell should be right now.
Goody's really good at some picks, especially offensive linemen in the later rounds, but he does whiff on others 1,000,000%. So it's a mix.
It's like almost every GM has like some sort of weird blind spot in the draft. I feel like.
So, like, real quick, I'm sorry to still be talking about Monday Night Football because this was a thing that was coming up all the time, too. about the Raiders selling and like if they would trade Max Crosby. And I don't see a world where they do that.
No.
Like they have technically three if you want to count Josh Jacobs, who knows if he's gonna be on the team next year. But like it's Max Crosby and Devontae Adams. Like those are the two jerseys that they highlight in the pro shop. Those are their two guys that you could see around the stadium whenever they're like showing off players. That's all they got. So I don't think that's gonna happen.
Crosby's like the only guy so far too who hasn't like vocally been somewhat critical of the Raiders, right? Like Devontae Adams has been in the Raiders' corner, but he's also said a few things where you're like, oh, maybe he wants out. We know Josh Jacobs was not happy there. Max Crosby's just been like, I love it. I love being here. Like if they moved on from him, it would be sell your season tickets, Raiders, because you ain't ever gonna get good again.
Okay.
Ever.
But that's the thing with the Raiders.
Yeah.
The bulk of the fans in Vegas who own the season tickets already sell them. Like this is what's being told to me by the organization. Like that's not because again, they're in Vegas. They're not in Oakland. They're not in California where the majority of their fan base is. Not saying there's no Raiders fans in Vegas, but there's a reason why there were a ton of Packers fans there. There's a million reasons why whenever the Chiefs play, it is packed out with Chiefs fans. Any big market team or like popular team that travels well, like if the fans travel well, they are filling Vegas, just like SoFi, because Vegas, they're catering to tourists. And so here, but that's the problem too. They're also willing to say, all right, let's just let it rock because we'll make money whenever like other teams come in. And right now, the Raiders don't really have a direction because you don't know about the coach. Like Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be your franchise QB. So it's kind of just like, all right, or kind of just waiting. So
yeah, the Raiders are not in a good position and they're still in a better position than the Denver Broncos. There you go, Raiders. There you go. Gave it to you. Gave it to you. I mean, that's the double-edged sword of having a stadium and location that's like a destination. Like you're going to get a lot of people who want to go to your game. You're going to be able to generate a lot of revenue because of it, but you're probably never really going to have that true like home field advantage.
No, you're not. It's not going to happen. Even like with SoFi though, it's the same, right? They had to jump through so many hoops when the NFC Championship game happened, when the 49ers were playing them, because they're like, oh God, like, because they know. And even Matthew Stafford's wife is like, oh my God, like going on the podcast saying it's so bad. Like,
you know what the Raiders need to do? Oh my God.
Part of the big problem, yes.
This is such a simple solution. You're in Vegas. You got all these shows there. A lot of magicians in Vegas, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got David Copperfield there still. Chris Angel. Copperfield, Chris Angel. Whoever's available. You fill the stadium with all the opposing fans, okay? Price gouge them. Make them pay $500, $600, $700, $800.
It is one of the most expensive stadiums to like go to.
Yeah.
Like the Super Bowl is going to be crazy.
You fill it with them. All the opposing team. Then you have David Copperfield come in. Boom. You make the stadium disappear. Boom. He reappears the stadium. None of the away fans are there. Then you let all the Raiders fans come in for $10 a head. Magic. That's how you fix that problem.
So what happens to all the people who paid all the money?
Oh, they make them reappear once the clock hits 0.
So they didn't see the game?
Nope. They were in some sort of weird purgatory black magic land. They know, okay, so if it's a really good magician, it depends on the magician. They can trick them into thinking that they watched the game, while in fact they weren't even there. You know, outside of Vegas, they got that giant like solar field. I imagine that the stadium just appears there for 3 hours. Everybody inside the stadium thinks they're watching a football game, but they ain't. They just got They got duped. Magic.
Okay.
And hell, Celine Dion shows up at halftime, gives them a great show. I'm not saying they should be hurt or anyway, you know. Make them have a decent experience, but boom. What they watched? An illusion. It was an illusion. If you need David Copperfield, David Blaine, and Chris Angel to come together to make it happen, do it, Mark Davis. Coward. Oh, by the way, did you see the Peyton Manning haircut of Mark Davis during the thing, making fun of him?
Mm-hmm.
It was very funny because Randy Gregory made fun of Mark Davis's hair at the beginning of the season before the Broncos played the Raiders. And those clips had to get taken off of social media.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Former Bronco Peyton Manning can go in though.
That's true. That's kind of phenomenal. That's kind of phenomenal.
Just
the
copy,
sphere.
baby.
They can go in the sphere. Even though the stadium holds a lot more. You just go into the sphere and that's it. So all right. You want to get into rookies?
No, I want to
real quick. Injuries quick.
Yes. A lot of injuries.
It's some major injuries. Justin Jefferson is going to be out for a time. That is a bit problematic if you're the Vikings. And so Adam Schefter tweeted this out, and it seemed just more like speculation from him, but I think like it's worth a conversation. If they're like, let's just say the Vikings don't win their next few games. They're playing the Bears next week. I think it'll actually be a decently competitive game, depending on what Bears team shows up. But if the Vikings like lose, let's just say, 2 out of their next games and they're, already on their way to a losing record, does Justin Jefferson come back or does he go, I'm not doing anything until I get a new contract?
At least I'm trying harder than the Packers.
Why am I catching shade? Why am I? What did I do?
No, that's just to Ian. That's just to Ian.
I'm a Packers fan, Brandon.
If I'm Justin Jefferson and I'm injured,
just gotta let it.
I don't think the contract stuff comes up at all right now.
You don't think so? Like during the season?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think oh God, I don't know.
I don't agree because we'll talk about this too.
Yeah, they're not gonna let him get away. But so if he,
I
guess,
do.
but
I hope they everybody hopes they do so much money.
But if like Kirk Cousins isn't there next year,
yeah,
you're gonna like Justin Jefferson's going to he's gonna learn what life is without a quarterback who can get you the ball consistently, possibly. Mm-hmm. And receivers do not like that. They put Achane on the IR.
Yeah, but that was supposed to happen.
No, it was a question mark yesterday.
Dude, like yesterday they were literally like saying, yeah, he's gonna go.
There's a possibility. Damn it.
My
whole thing in my power rankings.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that though, because that's another part. Dude, we'll talk about that more on Friday, but yeah, Cowboys Chargers could be a mess of a game. And I'm actually kind of excited about it. So yeah, we'll see. I haven't. Oh my God, they chanted "Fire Canada" at the Pens game. I did not see that. Oh, that's phenomenal.
It was so loud. It was so loud too.
Phenomenal. Well done, Pittsburgh fan. So yeah, Jefferson hurt. Achane's hurt. Anthony Richardson is going to miss a bunch of games. So a bunch of big players are already going to be out. One who's not going to be out apparently is Mac Jones. Who Mac Jones is still going to be the starter according to Bill Belichick. So how that goes.
Let's pose this as a question. No Richardson, no Jefferson, no Achane. Mm-hmm. Which team's going to struggle the most without one of those guys? It's not the Dolphins.
What'd you say?
I said it's not the Dolphins.
No, I was going to say, it's not the Dolphins because, like, Raheem Mostert can get carries again, right? Yeah, I saw that. I feel bad for Van Der Esch. He's hurt again, too. It's a neck injury. It just keeps on popping up, unfortunately. So I think he'll be fine. I think Gardner Minshew will be okay too. Like, I think they could have been better, obviously, with Anthony Richardson. But I think it's Jefferson because like he is just that good, and he's also the guy that like bails you out in case like your offense is struggling or can't move. It's like, you know what, Jefferson's out there. Like let's get the ball to him.
I think I agree with that, and it's also because like the Vikings their run game has struggled. Their turnovers have been bad.
Yes.
So yeah, I think he's the most important to the team's success right now. And it's weird to say that versus like Anthony Richardson, but Gardner Minshew, he's like an efficiency machine. His stat line was like so funny from the last game. It was like no touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, but he had like 155 passing yards, a high completion percentage, and they got the win. And there's like an X factor with the Colts too. It's like, will Jonathan Taylor be the Jonathan Taylor like we've seen? And or will they have two running backs with Zach Moss back there that you got to like account for? Like I think they can get by. And their defense is good. Colts defense is good. I don't think the Vikings defense is that good. We will not be selling K-Cups, guys. Expensive, bad for the environment, but you can buy the little pods that you put in the K-Cups. You can grind and smash it in, reusable. But yeah, it's not. There's a lot of key injuries right now, I feel like.
Yeah, and obviously, like, the Bills, like, they suffered a bunch of injuries, and it just seems like it's that time of the year. And I don't know, it's always weird every single year, right? Are there more, like, high-profile injuries this year? Maybe.
Kinda-ish.
I feel like it's a little bit more than usual. So, but we're not. We're slightly better. Got him. But listen, Packers' next game is against the Broncos, so.
We got Chiefs, then Packers. And then Chiefs again.
Yep. Indeed.
Look at that disclaimer, Tom.
Our
friends, Underdog Fantasy.
Then we talk about rookies.
We're going to get to the rookies. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
Look, if you want to play weekly fantasy football, if you want to play in pick'em games where you're picking higher or lower on player stat totals for games for the week, you do it at Underdog Fantasy. Our link is in the description. Use our code GPS because right now they're matching your first deposit up to $500. And for Thursday Night Football, their player specials, Patty Mahomes. So you're going to get a gimme with old Patty Mahomes going against the Broncos defense, which I don't even think you need a gimme for Patty Mahomes against the Broncos defense. Chiefs fans are like, our offense ain't quite clicking yet. This is going to be a get-right game for the Chiefs. So if you're looking for higher totals and there's Chiefs players available, I'm taking all of those. And actually, at the end of the episode, we will set myself a higher lower lineup for the Chiefs Broncos, Tom. And maybe if I go against the Broncos, I will win my first pick'em matchup. So, sponsor of the show, take care of them. They take care of us. Ooh.
Brandon.
Now before.
The day you actually win, a great day.
Is the day the Broncos will be good again. Before we do get to these rookies.
He's a phenomenal player.
What I wanted to bring to you, Tom, is a glimpse in the future. If the Packers continue to struggle, if every year you don't know what's going wrong.
Cursed.
What you're going to see at levels you can't even fathom yet is former Packers who may be working in the media turning against your team. We have a feud going on with Jerry Jeudy versus local sports radio here. He got into it with Philip Lindsay a couple weeks ago, and I don't even think Lindsay didn't even call him out specifically, but he got into it with him.
Yep.
Yesterday, Jeudy was firing off all these cryptic tweets that I didn't really understand. Well, turns out he was referencing Mark Schlereth, former Denver Bronco, media guy. And I was like, dang, why is Jeudy so upset? Why is he calling people old heads? Why is he calling him a goofy? Why is he saying all this weird stuff? Well, I heard what Mark Schlereth said, and I'm going to play it for you, Tom, because this is you listening to, I don't know, let's just say, well, it won't be Brett Favre because he might be in jail one day. Maybe Jordy Nelson one day. A beloved Packer, Jordy Nelson, just going in hard on your own team.
The effort from our starting wide receivers. Yeah. Shame on Jerry Jeudy for even thinking he can utter the name of Rod Smith in his tweets.
Yep.
Shame on you.
Yep.
because you're not a professional. You are not a professional, and you don't know what effort is. Your quarterback's under duress. You're locked up. Somebody locks you up in man coverage on an underneath route, and you are to call it trotting would be an insult to trotting. You just quit. You gave up, said, well, the ball's not coming to me. Hey, you're a lantern holder. Shining a light on Russ. Hey, Russ, you're under duress. I hope it works out for you because I'm not going to do anything to bail your ass out. Good luck with that. Oh, a sack. Weird.
Damn.
That wasn't even – he went even harder in on him at a different point. So that was Mark Schlereth from 104.3 The Fan here in Denver. I think he at one point said Jerry Jeudy couldn't hold his piss or something. I forget, but
Jesus. And Hunter, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So, part of me is like, oh, it's
sure.
I don't think it's a good look for any part of the Broncos.
And that's a former player.
That's Mark Schlereth, Super Bowl winning offensive lineman.
I just wanted to triple confirm because you know what's actually really interesting about that is because I feel like over the past few years especially, there has been a movement where former players obviously try to get into sports media and things like that. And they are usually the first person to defend players and have their back.
Yeah.
Right. And be like, oh, no, unless you're talking about Zach Wilson and trying to call him garbage. But the point that I'm trying to make is they usually don't talk like that.
No.
And that's that's a lot.
No,
That's
and I think you'll see more of it because I think that gets attention. It gets the clicks. And I think former
49ers.
players, I think everybody feels a little more empowered to say what they're really thinking because there aren't the type of consequences that there used to be for going hard in the paint on guys. It's chaos because everybody has a platform. Everybody can say whatever they want. And they're trying to keep up with idiots like me who can't. But I don't even go that hard in on players because one, I never know the full story. Two, I try to keep the brunt of my frustration as the team.
The team.
Obviously, certain players have bad spots in games, and but to hear him say it, and it makes me feel bad for Jerry Jeudy in that I understand why he probably doesn't want to be here. A week or two ago, though, he followed half of the Carolina Panthers. I don't think you can do that shit when you're on a bad team, even if there are trade rumors circulating around you. I think if you're a player and you're on a bad team and you guys are getting criticized, the best thing you can do is just be silent. Don't take the bait because you're not going to win until your team is good. And I don't think the Broncos are going to be good for a while. It doesn't mean what Schlereth is saying is wrong, but it's just another drop into it's another.
Yeah, I get you.
A thrusting of gasoline onto a fire that we just don't really need.
I
but
think
the
Broncos.
Yeah, he followed it up with trade Jeudy, trade Court. He went after Cortland Sutton in there too. He's trade them both. They wouldn't play for Kyle Shanahan or Mike Shanahan. Wouldn't have played for our Super Bowl teams. Can't play with guys like that. It's just whoa. And I don't know what Jeudy said to Rod Smith. Rod Smith must have been criticizing him, but yeah. And what's funny is when we were streaming, I said something similar during the stream. I was the receivers got to help Russ out when he's scrambling. Nobody's getting back into his field of vision. Nobody's coming back to help him make a play. And so I think that's very accurate and very true. And now the fire sale rumors are they're getting out of control. They're getting out of control here.
Well, I mean, so real quick though, to answer that super chat too, if you look at the teams right now, because it's weird, right? The only winless team is the Panthers, right? Yeah. What other team legitimately are hey, it's time to sell? Because and I mean this in the nicest way possible. The Patriots, I don't know what they have to sell, right? Their season's kind of over. But
you want one of our receivers? And everybody's no.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's going to buy. The Broncos, I could think because they have a QP, you talk about Simmons, you talk about potentially Jeudy. Yeah. There's that. The Vikings, maybe, but I don't even know who they move. Like, that's the problem too, because like some of their best guys, like they're not gonna move those. Like Justin Jefferson's, I don't think is gonna go anywhere. Like the AFC North is basically just 3-2 and 2-3. The AFC South is all weirdly competitive.
Yeah.
Like the Giants, again, what do they have to sell? Like I mean that. Like what
Like,
is
do you want anybody want Dan Jones?
Yeah, so that's another one. Commanders are in a weird spot too. Like they have good players, but I don't think they're going to be moving anybody. Cardinals are the other team I was going to bring up, but Budda Baker, it's been rumored that he was going to get traded like 18 times since the offseason.
Yeah.
So like I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe when I see it, excuse me. Like I don't know. Like I don't even know if they wind up moving him at all. So
Cardinals are like, they've been playing respectable football. They've been playing tough, and they may be getting Kyler Murray back at some point. And you kind of just want to see what Kyler looks like with the team that's playing fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
It helps Arizona evaluate him. Chicago's not going to sell because they got the picks.
Exactly.
Denver could be sellers. The Vikings possibly. Dude, if the Vikings, like, I know Kirk Cousins' name keeps getting thrown out as like a trade, right?
That is them giving up on the season if they do that.
Yes, it's giving up on the season, but also we've never seen like a starting quarterback get traded mid-season trade deadline, have we? That's never happened, right?
Not like that. I mean, again, it basically be like fans don't show up to the game anymore. Like,
yeah.
That would be like, hey, listen, like we're actually tanking for Caleb Williams right now. And what they'd have to get for him is worth what they, like basically their games being unwatchable for the rest of the season. We're doing power rankings on Friday. So stay tuned.
Boom.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, that's like, in no world do I think that actually happens.
No.
You see it enough on social media where like Kirk Cousins to the Falcons, to the Falcons. Imagine what could happen.
Sure.
And in a way, it makes sense, but like, I think it's hard to state how big of a move it would be for a team to trade a good starting quarterback before the trade deadline.
Now,
Dude, when Stafford got traded, it was crazy.
Yes.
So mid-season, that shit would be nuts. I want to see it now.
And who does he go to? The Jets? The Falcons?
Falcons. Send him to Atlanta. Because all of a sudden, I think they're a really good football team. See, he got good ball catchers there. He's got a good running game. Their defense sneaky good right now. Oh.
Desmond Ridder played well though last game.
No, I know he played better. Definitely. We gave him love this week, but he's still not as good as Kirk Cousins. And you can keep Ridder.
All right,
but
can we talk about rookies now?
Okay, yeah, we can talk about rookies.
43 minutes in, we'll get to rookies now. All right, there's a bunch of rookies that are on this list that should get talked about, and now unfortunately some of them have been also injured, like Achane, so like that really sucks. Was it Christian Gonzalez? Right, he got hurt too.
The Gons,
yeah. So that sucks. He was playing really well. The guys that are like left, I don't think Bryce Young is going to fit that bill of that.
No.
The first person I think we need to talk about is CJ Stroud, because CJ Stroud has been playing real well. And it's funny because I will never forget that. And I never forget, it was like 2 months ago. His first preseason game, like I know he only played for like a drive and a half or something, but I was like, oh boy, this could get rough. But dude, like they've stuck with him, and they have O-line problems. Like they don't have a great offensive team like surrounding him. Dameon Pierce is not playing very well. Even they just give him the ball, he's like just not really finding any lanes. But dude is he's playing really damn well. Like I would not be surprised if he's offensive rookie of the year.
He's breaking like all of these like completion records without throwing interception records. Like he's doing all that, like you just said, on not a truly ideal situation. But one, I think it speaks to he was probably the best quarterback in the draft. 2, I think the Texans are a very well-coached team right now. And the thing I really am curious about, because we've heard this with the Panthers, in that we thought they were going to go for CJ Stroud. We know McCown was high on him.
Mhm.
Everybody thought Frank Reich wanted him.
That's that thing right now that's going around about the Panthers, and it's just like, well, what happened? And now like the owner is starting to get
It's
looked
like
at. Yeah, it's
Frank Reich's talking about how the owner is heavily involved with
Yup.
the team, the decision making.
not fun
So-
meetings, but I think it makes me better.
Yeah. So it's like, who actually wanted Bryce Young over CJ Stroud? And don't get me wrong. I think there's hope for Bryce Young, but like just 5 games in, CJ Stroud miles ahead of Bryce Young. Should have been the first pick. Texans got lucky to be at 2. He's been that good.
Yeah.
Will Anderson's been good,
He's
but
been good.
not crazy dominant yet, if we're talking just straight up rookie performances.
Mhm.
But then here's Devin Witherspoon. And I think Anthony Richardson we'd be talking about if he could be healthy, stay
Yeah.
healthy. Just
Yeah.
been unfortunate. I don't think that's going to be, I don't think it's like a red flag for what his whole career is going to be like. I just think
No.
it's been unlucky. Devin Witherspoon has been very good. Couple sacks, pick 6, famous pick 6 there in prime time. Would have been the Broncos pick at 5. And this is what I'm saying, where it's like the Seahawks had the 5th overall pick because of the trade with the Broncos.
Mhm.
So they are a good football team. They get who many thought was the best corner in the draft, and he's balling. He's playing great. I don't think he's playing as well if he goes to a true team that's picking at 5. So guys like Witherspoon playing really well, Jalen Carter playing really well, even Jahmyr Gibbs, not Jahmyr, because he hasn't played enough, but like guys who are going to good teams who are picking super high. That is such a great spot for a rookie to go to. And Witherspoon definitely benefiting, I think, from that.
Former would have loved to meet Bart Starr. Former 100%. Current Randall Cobb.
If I can meet one former player and one current player, OJ Simpson and current player George Kittle.
George Kittle's pretty dope. It's true. Oh, don't worry. When we talk about Sam, we talk about Puka. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Well, so go back up. Bijan, I think, is playing really well. And it was expected to play well. He's good. Like, he just had that crazy, like, behind the back catch, right? And getting a touchdown. I think, I don't know. Do you think that maybe expectations were even higher for Bijan? Or do you think like he would be even, because he's playing well. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him. Do you think
I
he
think
would be like going crazy though?
Yeah, he has 200-yard rushing games. I think the Atlanta Falcons run game overall is underperforming compared to last season. But that's all they did well last season.
Mhm.
They had like 800 plus rushing yards at this point last year, and they have like 600 this year. So I think in terms of rushing yards, yeah, but like 2 of Bijan's best highlights are catches so far. They're like just dumb catches that he makes. So I think he's right at expectations, and I think like as the season goes on, you're going to see more and more from Bijan.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Carter at 9 to the Eagles is just insane.
Dude, it's just we talked about it. Hell yeah, Alpha, let's go.
But like if he were on the Bears, he would still be good, but he would not be
like this.
As good. He went to a very good defensive line, a very well-coached team, and he is playing like he's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. Like he's that dominant.
This is just draft order.
Yeah.
This is not our order. This is just draft order.
Yeah, we're just using this.
That's all.
Oh boy. Zach, you better undo it.
Rashee Rice has been good. Yes. I think if we're talking about offensive rookie of the year as of right now in week 6, right? So we're just getting there. For me, it's CJ Stroud is up there, right? Achane is 100% up there too. Unfortunately, him being injured and taking him out for 4 games is going to hurt. Yeah. However, I think considering if he comes back and continues to play like he has, I think he still could get offensive rookie of the year because of how well he's been playing.
Yeah, if he plays like in like 10 games and has like 1,200 rushing yards or something crazy. Yeah.
I don't know why the Raiders didn't pick Jalen Carter. I don't.
Honestly, I would put Jalen Carter in offensive rookie of the year as well because he's been that good. Every week, though, it's just like I feel like I just see a different CJ Stroud stat that's stupid and a different Jalen Carter stat that's stupid.
Puka, I think definitely should get consideration for
Oh,
offensive
God,
rookie of the
yeah.
year so far. The dude is like breaking records. It's because like Sam LaPorta, for example, like Sam LaPorta is doing very, very well, right? I just think there are certain offensive rookies that are playing at an insane level, like Puka, like Achane, like CJ Stroud, that are like those would probably be my top 3 for offensive rookie of the year. And like
Sure.
LaPorta is like right there too. Oh yeah, just stop right there on Brian Branch. Yep, just
There you go. Here's the way I kind of see it. I think Puka Nacua is the biggest surprise rookie.
agreed.
I don't think it's even close. Because Devin Achane, even though he kind of feels like he came out of nowhere, and I only know this basically because I played underdog all summer, right? I'm playing the best ball tournament all summer. So I'm reading more like fantasy articles than I normally would. And there were a lot of people like Devin Achane in the Dolphins offense
Is
will
gonna be insane.
explosive for you.
Yep.
So, and I think it might have been Josh Norris, who's with Underdog, who put that out at some point. So I was like, oh, let me start taking flyers on Achane because Raheem Mostert, he was available. Jeff Wilson, I was like, how are they going to use him? I was like, very late, you could take Achane, but people were talking about Devin Achane before the season started. Nobody knew who Puka Nacua was or were really talking about him. I remember seeing his name in fantasy drafts. Fucking boomer motherfucker.
Yes. No, you remember? No, because because the offseason hype for Achane was insane. Like it really was. Because even I knew who he was because I drafted him in a couple of leagues too. Because I was like, oh, this kid is getting talked about like nonstop. Of like how if he gets an opportunity, he's gonna be crazy. Puka Nacua, at least for me, came out of complete nowhere.
I saw his name very, very late in drafts available as a receiver for the Rams. I'm like, I just don't know if Stafford's going to be good. I'm not taking a flyer on any Rams wide receiver, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of that said,
big facts right there.
I think Sam LaPorta is the best rookie right now. And he's not doing anything super crazy, super insane, but he does lead all tight ends still in yards.
Yep.
And I think outside of maybe CJ Stroud, I think he's been the most impressive rookie because the tight end position is so hard to transition from college in that rookie season. Outside of Gronk and Mike Ditka, go back and look at every great tight end. Almost none of them perform in their rookie season. Mm-hmm. So what Sam LaPorta is doing and the fact that the Lions got him in the second round, like to me, in terms of expectations, and we talked about this while doing some of the drafts, I'm like, I'm not taking rookie tight ends except for late flyers. And Sam LaPorta, and it's not that he's just playing well in terms of catching passes in the offense. I think he has like the third best blocking grade of any tight end right now behind Kittle and I forget who the other guy was, but like he's doing everything well immediately. So to me, I find that like incredibly impressive.
Yes, because that's something even Dalton Kincaid, right? Who I think is having a pretty darn good start to his rookie year.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, he's not doing anything crazy, but just the way that he's been able to be a guy within the offense that the Bills can rely upon, like that's rare. Like that's very, very rare. But I think you're 100% on the nose because I talk about that all the time, right? About like tight end and corner are some of the most difficult positions to translate from like, okay, from college to here, because it's blocking schemes, it's running routes, it's catching, like it's all that stuff. And LaPorta, especially where he was picked as well, I think he has exceeded expectations and has become like not only just a threat, like he's become like one of the better tight ends. And to see that happen in the rookie season, like is wild. 100%.
Yeah. So LaPorta, that's been pretty awesome. Obviously, it's like the Lions' whole draft was pretty dang good.
They crushed it. Yeah, they did.
And you know, Jahmyr Gibbs still has time to prove like that made sense, but
take him.
LaPorta, and yes, everybody keeps. I see it in the chat. Brian Branch. Brian Branch has been very, very good. Unfortunately, he didn't play last week, right, because of an injury. But yeah, Brian Branch was. Right now, there's like Brian Branch, very good, injured. Achane, very good, injured, and Christian Gonzalez, very, very good, also injured. I think if Gonzalez doesn't get hurt, we're saying like one of the only bright spots in New England is the rookie corner, and unfortunately, we don't get a longer look at him.
Too early to tell, but like we'll see. I mean, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
There's Rashee Rice for everybody. There he is. He's gotta play even better though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh hey, look, Marvin Mims has been good too. Well, and then he fumbled the kick and then fumbled the punt. But until those two plays, Marvin Mims, very exciting rookie.
Yeah, that's true, Jill. It's true. All right, you want to talk about defense?
Defensive rookies? Sure.
Okay. You said Will Anderson's good. I agree. He's good.
Actually, Broderick Jones starting to play well in Pittsburgh too. FYI.
Jalen Carter, I think, has to be number one right now. Like
Yep.
Jalen Carter's trying to make like I think like not just defensive rookie of the year, like just overall defensive player. But that's one. He's just been unstoppable. You go back to Witherspoon. Like Witherspoon has been another one. Like he's very, very high on that list. Brian Branch.
Yeah. Jack Campbell has been very good for Detroit.
Yeah, Jack Campbell
has helped one of their weak positional groups.
Yeah, but Brian Branch has been very, very, very good. You know who's been also good? Thule. Thule's been good too. Go over the second round. I think he was second rounder, right?
Thule.
He had like a big game. I think was the last.
Hey,
game.
Joey Porter. There's one right there for you.
Just got his first interception.
Big pick too. Where's Thule?
Because I love Thule coming out of college too. I put him in my pass rushers list right there. There you go, Chargers. Boom.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been having a pretty nice year. I wouldn't necessarily go like rookie of the year, but because like the bar is so high, like Brian Branch too, right? I think those are my three right now. It's Jalen Carter, it's Witherspoon, and it's Branch. Gonzalez like could be up there too, but unfortunately he got injured. Those would probably be my three. And it's Jalen Carter right now. Even though that's the thing though, Witherspoon is like playing insane. Like he looks so good, dude. Like he looks so good.
Yeah,
he's able to get after
good.
the quarterback. He's obviously really good in pass coverage too. But Jalen Carter's just like he's a game wrecker, man. Like even if he's not getting the sacks like all the time, like he's just a game wrecker.
I think Tajay Spears, he's gonna be good. Playing behind Derrick Henry, but he's made some plays.
James, you take that. Her loss, your gain. That's it.
Here's something I noticed in here. I want to talk about. All right,
Breezy.
let's go down here to these receivers: Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith. Boom, 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 boom. All right. It kind of feels like at this moment, all of these guys have underperformed a little bit. Zay Flowers, we keep crediting him for his route running, for all of these nice things that he does, but he hasn't had like that breakout game yet. Mike Williams goes down for the Chargers. So we need to see Quentin Johnston really step up. Jordan Addison, he's going to have a huge role with the Vikings now that Justin Jefferson's hurt.
That's true. Yep. And he's
so like I kind of want to see what these guys do like over the next month or so. Like I feel like we're going to be talking about one of these receivers making a big impact on one of their teams. And I think it's got to be Quentin Johnston or like Jordan Addison. I feel like Jordan Addison might start to put up some crazy numbers just
and be surprised
based on the opportunity there, but
there you go. Well, I mean, if we're talking about just rookie, obviously Puka, like, you know, kind of Tank Dell is looking really good for the Texans. Like he's been a nice, like consistent
Puka
guy.
leads all receivers right now in yards.
Could be. Could be.
There we go.
But yeah,
This
I
one.
mean, because they needed wide receivers. Like they really, really did. So look at Puka, man.
Look, that's insane.
Yeah.
And look at that. Jamar Chase got in there after a huge game.
Sir, listen, that means you draft one. I mean,
Yeah.
it means you draft well. The Packers usually do that, too. They usually keep all like their rookie draft picks. But listen, if they're all contributing, that means so far so good.
Yeah.
So
So look,
far, so
there's
good.
Day Flowers. He leads all
True
those guys
story.
I just mentioned right now in yards. Oh, look at Sam LaPorta.
There you go.
Next page. Oh, I wanted to mention Jacoby Myers for the Raiders. He's been really good.
Yeah, I know it's obviously not a rookie or anything, but yeah.
He played well against the Packers.
Yes,
He
he
was
did.
unstoppable against the Broncos, but Jacoby Myers, nice surprise. See, I'm trying to find these other rookies here.
Yeah, I know, but that's what. So JSN also was injured too.
Right.
So kind of giving him like
Yeah,
a
that's-
slight pass as well. But
There's
Tank
Jordan
Dell.
Madison.
Yep, Jordan
Where's-
Addison, Tank Dell right below him, or yeah, right there.
Yeah, where's Quentin Johnston?
Dude, I'm telling you, like, Puka has given me, like, damn, maybe this rebuild for the Rams is not going to be as long as I thought it would. It depends,
Yeah.
obviously, on how long you're going to have Stafford's going to be playing. But Kupp, Puka, Tutu Atwell, like, that offense, like, they get, probably some more help on the O-line, just, like, shore that up a little bit. They actually have a first-round pick. I would be pretty, like, optimistic about their future. Again, it depends on how long Stafford plays, but they're going to have some weapons, baby. Like, they're going to have some weapons.
Yeah, I think it just goes down to how well coached the Rams are in addition to all of that. Like, there was not a lot of hope because last year was so like disappointing for the Rams, and they do have Matthew Stafford. So like you've got a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Kupp just returned. Defense is playing pretty good. I just think they're a well-coached team. They're a solid football team. And they're where do they pick? They have their draft picks back, right? The Rams?
They do.
Or do they have they got to do another year without it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll be all right. How many picks do they have oh, they got a ton of picks. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks in this next draft. 5 of them are in the 6th round, but
Hey, also want to say Carlson, who Packers fans, including myself, were very worried about during training camp because it looked like he couldn't hit anything. 100%. So.
the Carlson bros.
Oh, is that true? Kickers are 120 for 120, 35 or less?
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I would say 10 of those kicks came in the Jets-Broncos game. 10 of those 30 yards or under came in the Broncos game.
Yep.
Nothing like a bunch of short field goals to really let you know how bad an offense is in the red zone. But yes, Broncos Chiefs Thursday Night Football. Tom and I will be streaming it together. Chiefs probably going to hit 16 straight wins against the Broncos unless we get some sort of miracle.
No.
I would try to hype myself up for it. But the Chiefs defense is playing very good. They're the only defense to not allow 21 points this season. And we saw the Broncos offense struggle against a good Jets defense. So I have no hope for tomorrow night, Tom.
Yeah. What a good
I might be drinking at halftime.
Hell yeah. Great profile picture, by the way. No. Jerry Jones came out and then doubled down on it. He's like, nope, Dak Prescott is the QB that's going to take us to the Super Bowl.
Woo!
That's what he said. And then he doubled down on it. So I tried to explain this to people too. Like when I went there to Dallas, they love Dak in Dallas. Like the organization, they love him. They really highlight what he does, for the community. He talks about what an integral part of the team he is. I think they're going to be sticking with, unless he completely collapses, they're going to be sticking with him for a while. So I don't think Dak is necessarily going anywhere.
No, that's fair.
Also, real
Dak
quick,
needs to play better, but
did you see the Micah Parsons thing? And because the George Kittle, George Kittle had F the Cowboys and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Micah Parsons, dude, I'm just I love them trying to reignite that feud. But I'm Dallas, you have nothing to say.
No.
Yeah, He can wear whatever he wants because he scored 3 touchdowns on you. Like, they blew you out of the water.
Yeah, it's, it's like, to me, it's the equivalent of Jerry Jeudy going after Broncos media right now. It's just like,
Damn it.
can't say anything.
Yeah,
Can't say
no, that's not
anything.
good. The Chiefs and Broncos, like, they played these weird games last year, right? In which, like, the Broncos were super competitive. Russ got concussed, right, in that second game. And
We
he
would have
was
won
playing
had that
really
not
well.
happened.
Yeah, playing really well. So you never know. Like,
You
divisional
never know,
games
but
are-
it's not happening
are
tomorrow.
weird.
No. Different team. We're even worse. We're worse. The Broncos are worse than they were last year.
Weird.
I did not think I could say that, but they are. Their defense is so bad. So bad.
Well, Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
Power rankings should be up hopefully by noon my time. 2 hours. Give me 2 hours to get this mother liquor finished.
There you go. Nailed it. Put out power rankings yesterday. NFC North reaction week 5 came out last night. Like 10. It took a while to do that video. But today, predictions. Week 6 predictions will be out later tonight. And then AFC North reaction to week 5 as well.
Tight.
But folks, we'll see you tomorrow because we will be streaming the Broncos Chiefs game and whatever the hell that's going to look like. But we appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
Arrivederci. Je destination.